People who try toilet doors at public or work restrooms are inconsiderate or are totally devoid of common sense.
My anecdotal evidence to this opinion is that any time I take a shit at work, they door is tried at least once, leading me to believe among my 40 to 60 coworkers at least not a single one of them is capable, or willing to take 0.0001 seconds to look to see if the glaring red or green indicator is in fact red or green. People are stupid.
I'm attracted to men with the Lord Farquaad haircut.
Maybe not the bangs, but definitely the bob haircut is extremely attractive to me when dark-featured men have it, like Anton Chigurh or Laurence Olivier as Richard III, or even Carl Sagan. I just prefer longer hair, but shorter than shoulder length, on men, and I think any eccentric haircut that's not a Nazi youth cut is superior.
Blood is tasty.
Bit my bottom lip while eating and tasted some blood. Tasted good. I wanted to heal, but I can't stop myself from occasionally licking it, which probably reopens the wound. I really hope it doesn't get infected.
It's pretty weird that it's mandatory to wear a name tag and have your name up for display.
I don't know, I don't like the idea of having my name up for random people. Like as a server, having my name tag out just makes for super uncomfortable exchanges with creepy weirdos. I understand that if someone is making a complaint or something, they need a name, which I can just tell it to them so they can complain, or they can just as easily describe what I look like. I'd rather the situation be I'm able to tell my name to customers who I would like knowing my name versus just random weirdos referring to me by my legal name. People can find you on social media with your first name, which again is super weird.
People who have over 1,000 friends on Facebook, followers on Instagram, etc. aren't necessarily good friends. They're just good at image management.
People who spend a lot of time on social media, I am no exception, just not on Reddit, are actually usually good at image control, the ability to change people's perceptions based on certain criteria. Look up priming and bias according to familiarity, proximity. Timing, topic, number of followers, friends, etc. don't determine whether they have actual friends.
Being significantly early is just as rude as being late.
I get waiting in your car and then coming in at the set time just a few minutes early, no problem with that. But society, especially the current work environment, congratulates and encourages being early to everything. It forces the person who might not be ready for you, even just mentally, to rush just because you decided to show up outside the agreed time. I think it's just as disrespectful, if not more, to their time as lateness. At least when someone is late, the person with whom they were meeting expected them anyway and had adequate time to prepare.
There is a saying by old people that youth is wasted on the young. Well, I believe money is wasted on the old.
Old people had all of their lifetime to accumulate wealth and set themselves up for a lovely retirement. They shouldn't get their life subsidized by 16-year-olds just starting to work.
I think motorcycles are stupid.
I can't find a reason to daily or even own a motorcycle. They're tiny, and if you hit something, it's not going to end great even with protective gear and a helmet. You can only fit 2 people on it, sometimes. You can't carry groceries or anything. Road rash, cold, hot. There's just too many reasons to not want to ride them. And trucks are your worst enemy. Bigger blind spots, more mass, higher up. Even normal cars. Some motorcycles can't even handle gravel that well. For me personally, I can't see a reason to ride. If you disagree, good on you, and drive safe and try and stay out of vehicles' blind spots, and always be aware. Drive like others are out to passively kill you on accident. Edit. I also like the way Harleys sound.
People who complain about not having friends don't realize that they're the problem.
I've noticed over the past 2 years that the people who don't have friends are among the shittiest people, and that's why they don't have friends. If you have no friends, it's because nobody wants to be friends with you. In order to get friends, you literally have to be anything else other than an annoying, manipulative asshole, and other people will want to get to know you. The first step in getting better is accepting that you have a problem. If you are unsatisfied with your social circle, or maybe you don't have one at all, it is not because of other people. If you came to that conclusion, then you have a problem that you're not willing to recognize and act upon. Edit. I would like to make some corrections. Of course, there are exceptions to this idea of if you don't have friends, there is a reason. There are people with disabilities who can't do anything about their scenario. There are people who are actually really amazing people who prefer to have less friends. However, I've noticed that there is a striking correlation and overlap between people who have no friends and people who are assholes.
Being tall is overrated.
As a man in his early 20s who is close to 6'3" and stays in average shape, I can say that tallness is too overrated. At the very least, the expectation that it'll make you instantly stand out and help you in dating significantly isn't true at all. On very rare occasions have people commented on my height. And you won't even notice how tall you really are until you look at photographs. It isn't like everyone else is little people that it feels like you have to look down on. That isn't to say that being tall doesn't help. It probably does. But I do think the effectiveness socially, romantically, physically of being tall is massively overhyped.
Parents shouldn't be served alcohol if alone with kids.
If there's only one parent, an adult, with a child or children, they should not be served alcohol. It doesn't matter what type or how long they remain at the restaurant. It seems obvious that person would be the driver. Why willingly put children at risk?
Avocado should be peeled, not cut or spooned out.
Basically what the title says. I don't understand why people cut the avocado in its peel and then try to get it out. It's much more difficult and not as efficient, usually leaving a layer of avocado in the peel. If you do this with avocado, why not for bananas?
People who scream during arguments deserve to be legally slapped once in the face.
No reason to ever scream unless you need to get someone's attention for help. Any other form of screaming at someone should be considered assault. I'm talking 1 million force slap.
There's no experience or age limit for sports cars or anything similar.
Even if you're a new driver, a Ferrari isn't going to kill you any more than a Honda Civic is. You'll die getting side-swiped by a F350 after running a red light just as much in a Mustang GT as you will in a Toyota Yaris. It's completely wrong that every time someone asks if blank thing is too much for a beginner that they tell them they will get themselves killed. Fast cars and bikes handle better and drive better than econoboxes. What makes them dangerous isn't their capability for performance but the driver's inability to understand their own capability. Someone should buy a car to grow into and not grow out of because they're way too expensive in the first place and there's no reason to spend money on a substitute. That's my TED Talk. Stay safe, Brodies.
Smoke breaks are absolutely ridiculous, and if you take them you are self-entitled.
Recently started working a retail job and it pisses me off that the people who self-consciously made the decision to try something they knew would be highly addictive feel that they should now be entitled to breaks to smoke whilst the rest of us just have to carry on working.
A man being funny doesn't sweep me off my feet.
You hear women say all the time how making her laugh is the most attractive thing. I disagree. Of course, a good sense of humor is important, but a guy being funny doesn't necessarily make me fall in love with him. In fact, men who are too silly tend to be annoying and lack depth. I think a man being kind, sweet, honest, loyal, etc. are way more important qualities than being funny.